If you haven't watched the first part, make sure to watch it first to understand the basic proportion of female fashion figure. Drawing poses can be really frustrating, so understand the basics is really important. For this video, I choose 4 basic fashion poses, including 2 still poses and 2 catwalk poses. The first pose is quite simple, since it's not so different from the basic pose, except for the arm. So what I do is still break the body into 3 parts, from the shoulders to hips, from hips to knees, and from knees to ankles. I follow all the basic steps to draw the torso. Check out the first part for the specific instruction. As you see in the reference, there's a gap between 2 ankles, so observe the reference carefully and just roughly mark the ankles, or you can choose to mark the directions of 2 legs. The only noticeable thing in this pose is the right arm. Since the hand is on the hip, the right shoulder now raises a bit higher. Don't draw it too high or it will look really weird. The elbow can be tricky. Imagine the elbow in the circular movement where the shoulder is the center and the radius equals the length from the shoulder to the waist. Observe the gap from the elbow to the waist to place it correctly. Finally, indicate the length of the forearm by measuring the length from the waist to the groin. In the second pose, the model turns slightly to the right so we can see more of her left side. At the same time, we can see the front plane and the side plane of the torso. Adding the side plane to the outline is really important because it creates a sense of 3 dimensions to the figure. The torso will be done just like when you draw the basic figure, but one thing to notice is that from the center line, the left half is slightly bigger than the right half, since it is added with the side plane. With the legs, I also mark the ankles or the direction of 2 legs before adding any details. The left shoulder slightly raises since the hand is on the hip. You can see the arm is attached to the side plane. Use the method with the circular movement I talked about before to find out where you should place the elbow. The right arm will be covered partly by the body. Catwalk is a really important pose. I downloaded this image of the beautiful model Yasmin Warnadem for reference. Since the body is now moving, the center line is no longer a straight line. I broke the torso into 2 parts that go in 2 directions, depending on the movement of the model. The first part is from the shoulders to the waist, and the other one is from the waist to the hips. You can see these 2 parts move in 2 opposite directions. Test this by walking in your house. The breast and hips are done easily following the basic structure, but you can notice that 2 sides of the belly are not equal in length anymore. This is understandable since there are no bones under the belly except for the spine, so this part is more flexible. Remember not to draw the leg straight vertically. Mark the ankle on the straight line we draw from the beginning. This actually keeps the pose balanced and natural. 2 knees are also important. Since the hips move, the knees also move along. In this case, the left knee is a bit higher than the other one. I think this is just common sense, but a lot of beginners overlook this. The calf may be tricky, since it is now foreshortened. What you need to do is to mark the ankle and the direction of the leg, shorten the length, and draw the shape by curvy lines. It is really hard to tell how curvy the lines should be, because it's different in each catwalk pose. Normally, just keep your hand loose and make a really nice curve from the knee to the ankle. The arms are still done following the basic structure, but because of the movement, some foreshortening may happen, so it really requires a lot of practice to get used to it. add one more catwalk pose with the opposite direction of movement. The steps are not different at all. It is just about how you can adapt the method in different catwalk poses.